All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the very 20th episode of Curse of Strahd. Where last we left our heroes, they had traveled to the ruins of Bariz, hoping to put an end to the threat of Baba Lysaga and her druids. A little overconfident in their abilities to completely decimate her scarecrow sentries, the group had proceeded to Baba Lysaga's house or hut to confront her face to face. They were quickly outmatched by overly eager tentacles and a well-placed fireball after a snarky druid got his mustache burned off. And before the monk. And before the group was officially slain outright, Flen struck a deal. As Flen agreed to the terms of Baba Lysaga's exchange of power in order to keep her magic emerald that animated her house, black mist began to swirl and surround Len, and three voices consumed her mind. For everyone else, things went black. Cedric, you're walking down the streets of Vallaki. It's a bright, sunny day. The sky is a crisp blue, and the sun hangs overhead, giving you nice warmth. You're on one of your normal routine patrols, and everything seems well. You walk by some of the people. They smile, tip their hats, offer you a lovely day, and you continue about your way. Everything seems wonderful. Telius Thog, you're in your church. You're offering prayers to the Morning Lord. You're thinking about the last heretic that you had thusly smote, and how great it felt being awesome. Your prayers seem to get a response as a ray of sunbeam shines through the...
Oh,
Hi, Morph! What's up? What?
we're losing you, Griffin.
And so I take over.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, much better.
Cool. Right. Telius Thog, you're in your church, enjoying some prayers, reflecting on the heretic that you had smoked thusly, and it was glorious. A sunbeam shines through the multicolored glass that adorns the shrine in front of your temple, as a sign that Lathander is pleased with your existence. Ashiel, you're sitting in a library, reading up on some great arcane lore that you had pulled from a library, sipping an exotic brand of tea that tastes just delightful. You're thinking about how much you hate your brother, and how much of a little shit stain he was, and you're glad to be rid of him. Rylor, you're sitting in your workshop. You're designing some new invention. It's going to change the world, and you're quite happy with it. Your wife brings you a sandwich, leans in to kiss your cheek, while your daughter's in the background playing with one of the toys you had built her. Everything seems wonderful. Fled. Your world is agony. All you feel is darkness. All you feel is darkness and pain as the trio of voices assault your mind. You feel your skin tearing, your body distorting, your eyes burning. A pair of skeletal wings erupt from your back in a bloody, visceral explosion. They stretch, they flap, and you feel yourself lifted slightly off the ground. Your eyes take on an eerie yellow glow, and the voices in your head continue to laugh. "Thank you for taking our gift," one says to your mind, and you're spun and twisted by the mist. You feel a hunger. It's present in the back of your mind, and it's constantly gnawing at you. This need to consume death. And when the pain becomes too much, you black out. The four of you, excluding Flynn, the four of you hear the sounds of talk and discussion around you. And there's a cackling fire and voices just off on the distance of this sleepy haze that would be a good dream for you. They seem to be discussing what to do with them, or with themselves in the coming days, and what to do with you all if you don't wake up. No one seems to be talking about getting rid of you per se, but they're expressing concern that you haven't woken up in some time. One by one, your eyes start to open again, and you find yourselves surrounded by Vistani. You're embraced by the warmth of two campfires, one a cooking fire, one just for light. And there's music playing, soft violin, a concertina, and even a roll-out accordion that seems to be much softer since your slumber. But when you awaken, one of the men looks and he says, "Ah, it is about time you have roused. You have been sleeping for 3 days. When we found you, you were near death. It is quite unfortunate what happened to you."
Do we have memory over what happened 3 days ago?
You remember... Do you want to remember what happened to you 3 days ago?
Tully's told you'd like to try.
Yes.
Yeah, give me a wisdom check.
I will do the same.
My wisdom is fucking awesome, mate.
I was the only one awake for when Glenn made the deal.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
You guys just know you're fighting Baba Saga.
Silver, you start to Silver and Rylor, or Silver, Ash and Rylor start to think back, and you mostly remember probably some things you don't want to remember.
God, so many tentacles.
Yep.
Oh God.
Very, very invasive and unfriendly. And then you remember getting fireballed and everything going black, and some asshole who wanted to mouth off and got you into that situation.
Which one was that again?
Probably the guy with half a mustache.
I'm pretty sure she was going to fireball us anyway.
Was she though?
I was going to use the moss, but no. I look around. Wait, where's Glenn?
Where is Glenn?
Where's
Where-
Ismark?
Where are we?
Who cares about Ismark? Where's Glenn?
Yeah, Ismark is not too important, right?
Wow. Wow.
You just insulted the best tank of our team.
You're
I
right.
know. No, that's the whole point. That's why I did it.
And as you say that, you feel just a little slap to the back of your head, and you see that Arena is sitting there with you guys.
Oh, I forgot she was here. Oopsies.
I didn't, that's why I asked what Ismark was.
I still only care about Glenn.
Irina speaks up and she says, "I just woken up myself. I haven't seen my brother." And she looks over to the bin and she says, "Was a blonde man here with you and a girl with horns? Are they all right?" And the two who are standing here, who obviously look like they're more important than the others, one smiles and says, "Ah, yes, he has been very worried about her. He hasn't left her side. He was one of the two that rode in here, carrying you all, as injured as you are. I am Erigol. I, along with my brother, we maintain this camp. This is Luvash. He is my brother. And, Luvash? Arigol. And so the two smile and dip bows and they say, "You were brought here, and we tended to you. No need to thank us. We are just happy that you are alive."
Tullius Thog is thankful for your assistance, he says as he sits up.
I can't seem to remember. I remember a heat. Everything went black.
Ah, yes.
And-
You had several burns. It looked quite nasty, whatever you ran into.
Then
God,
Ismark
the
got me back up, but I don't... The hell happened after that?
I don't remember anything past a giant fireball coming down and hitting me in the face.
Well,
might
you were
have to
all
ask
asleep.
Ismark.
My friend, I am sorry about your mustache.
I
With
stroke
Tullius
my
Thog, remember
mustache.
Esmeralda.
I would hope so.
Very good. That is Esmeralda, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you ask that, you do see her walk through the tent flaps. She says, "Oh, good, you're finally awake."
She's hoeing down like a full leg of turkey. Just
Don't question me eating my dinner because I had to come here straight from work. And,
I'm
she
sorry.
makes her normal slow gait on her mechanical foot, but as she walks towards you all, she says, "Good, you're awake.
Tullius Thog is a friendly nod.
You should get up and get some food, something to drink. You have been asleep for a long time, and they've been kind of sleep feeding you soup for the entire time."
I'm sorry. I remember you fighting a tree with us, but I don't think we ever were properly introduced.
Oh, I am Esmeralda de Avenir.
Hello, Isma.
She kind of pauses and, "Okay, sure. I am. I'm formerly of these people. I self-imposed my own exile to become a monster hunter of the vampires as well. I still maintain good relationships with them, at least. So that is why they were able to help you in this condition."
I thank you greatly. He extends his hand. Sir Gregory Archibald Whitewood, the second.
I heard there was a Sir Gregory in Valaki. Any relation?
That would be me.
Hmm.
I had to leave my former post after, well, there was a bit of change in the government recently.
Yes, vampires would do that.
Yeah. And he just kind of goes silent.
Give me a wisdom check, more.
Wisdom check. Save or just check?
Check.
17.
Wait, what vampires?
Wait, I'm sorry, the Burgermeister was killed by a tiefling. What's this about vampires?
You don't know what happened?
From what they've told me, he was chopped up by Isik, so he was killed by a tiefling.
No, the Burgermeister may have been killed by a tiefling, but a group of vampires ran rampant through the city. They slaughtered everybody at the Church of Lathander and painted the town red. Literally, with their blood. The blood of the people there. Oh, it was chaos and disorder, and it's probably not a good idea to go back there.
How long ago did this happen?
4 or 5 days ago?
Oh. Thank you for the information.
Well, yes, it's a bit out of my hands. There wasn't much I could do.
No, I don't blame anyone, vampires, for that.
Well, you all should rest. I think you've had a, rough time of it, so I think just having this time to think and reflect on what happened, and yeah.
Tilius Dog wonders, is there anyone left, if they're lucky? Is there any resistance against those fiends?
And she kind of shakes her head, and she's like, I'm sure there are. It's a very large town, so there could be people who got through, but when I heard that the vampires had broken out of the old coffin maker's building and had run a rampage, they killed a number of people in the church and started a bunch of fires and did a whole mess of nasty business.
Great. On
Be-
nothing less than sacrifice. But at this point,
Well, such is the nature of monsters. Glenn, you finally wake up. Your glowing yellow eyes open, and the first thing you see is Ezek standing over you. Or Eastmark. Ezek.
Oh no, Ezek's back.
Ezek's back! Eastmark standing over you. He's got a wet cloth pressed to your forehead, and you feel like your back and mostly your horns feel like they're on fire.
Still hurts.
Yes, I imagine spontaneously growing wings would be a painful ordeal.
Wait, what?
And he kind of gives one of those awkward smiles, and he's like, in your horns, he kind of like taps. He's like, they're longer. I like it, but it's so sudden.
I reach up and I like feel my horns and like try to feel my back.
Your horns feel about 6 inches longer, and they've started to curl. And then when you reach back behind you, you were probably expecting like feathers or even the leathery back wings, but no, you feel bone and a bit of cartilage to hold it together. And he says, just take it easy. Whatever you agreed to, you saved your friends. You saved all of us. We couldn't hear what was going on, but when you walked out, you looked like this, and you fainted, and Esmeralda arrived, and we were able to throw you all over some horses and get out of here quickly.
Everyone else is alright?
They're inside the main tent. I didn't want them to see you and come to any conclusions on their own before you were awake.
Thank you.
This is, of course.
I'm a monster, aren't I?
And it looks like there's just the faintest hesitation before he shakes his head and he says, no, you're not the monster. You're still as beautiful as the day I met you.
I kind of lean my forehead against his chest.
And he hugs her. And he kind of comfortingly puts his arms around her and says, "Whatever this is, it's still you. You're still Glenn. And frankly, if you had become a monster and needed to kill anyone, I'd suggest going for Ash first."
Okay.
Cool.
And he cracks a small smile.
And I smile also too. Do I see any bones laying around anywhere?
No.
I'm really hungry. This isn't
He has
right.
a plate of food there. There's some chicken with the bones in and vegetables and stuff.
Does the meat and the vegetables look appetizing at all?
Give me a con save.
This will be nice.
You look. You kind of. Ismark watches you go green at the sight of the food and the way it smells. To which he's a little surprised because to him it smelled really good, and he had to resist not picking at it while he waited for you to wake up. The last couple days he had ended up eating your food just so it didn't go to waste, but he kind of held out hoping you'd wake up. Another hour or so he might have eaten it, but when you go green, he puts the plate down and he reaches for a bucket and he's like, "Just right into here. No, don't get it on that carpet." And yeah, you completely lose the water, I guess. The water they had been keeping you hydrated on. As you completely just lose your stomach contents. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't look good. And, he's surprised, and he's like, "What is wrong? I don't understand. It's really good food. I've enjoyed what they've offered."
I don't know.
Bones. A voice echoes in the back of your mind.
I don't know what's happening.
Seek
feel-
the graves.
There's like a look of like genuine fear on my face. I feel like I need to eat death.
He looks surprised again, and he's like, "I mean, the chicken was dead when it was cooked. I don't understand."
I'm going to try and pick up the chicken, and I'm going to try to eat the chicken along with the bone.
Okay, give me another con save. You're able to stomach down this taste. It this time it really doesn't taste like anything really. You don't derive any sensation from the food. Like there's no pleasurable aromas or any taste bud sensations as you're eating this chicken, and it tastes like dirt. But your own innate nature is like, no, I need to eat food to sustain myself, and so you kind of force it down. And then when you get to the bone, you crunch into it, and it's like, oh, this is better. And he kind of watches you confused as you start, snapping the bone with your teeth, and you start chewing on it too. And he's like, don't, you're gonna choke on that. But then you keep going, and it's like you hadn't eaten in 3 days. And after a while, you've snapped and chewed up the bones, and they're gone.
Was it enough, or do I need more?
You feel content, but you know that you'll be hungry again soon. Like, it's kind of like you ate a small snack. It was refreshing enough to eat the bone.
I need... I don't understand. I don't taste anything.
What did they do to you?
I don't know. I feel... I feel like I need to eat more bones.
More bones. Grind the bones to make your bread.
And when I say that, I actually do look still scared.
And then we cut back to the other group. And you guys are being passed out plates of food as well. And
Yes.
for you guys, Vistani really know how to put their foot in some chicken. It's very well seasoned. It's cooked really great. They put some kind of like honey glaze on it too, and it's just they're not shy with the wine, and they're kind of trying to do their best to help get you guys back up on your feet. And they're just like, eat, friends, drink. You need to.
Question.
Yes.
Is there bacon? And if so, is it better than Irina's?
There are bits of bacon chopped up into the potatoes. It's good.
Lynn's absolutely envious.
She will never enjoy bacon again.
What kind of hell is this?
Downright unholy.
While this is going on, Gary would probably be asking around, see if he's got a mirror of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling
Also-
out a knife from his pack.
Jesus H. Fuck Wise.
Ash kind of devours her food quickly, and then she seems to go sit off in a secluded somewhere. She just kind of seems to want to get out of the center of everything and just hide, I guess.
After chowing down on a ton of food, I look at Mr. McMahon over here, and I say, "So, where's Glenn?"
Glenn is resting in another wagon. Your friend, she did not look so good when she was brought in here.
Oh, I might be able to help.
The handsome blonde boy, he insisted on staying with her.
Ah, so that's why he's my kid.
Irina's like, my brother's all right, and she looks a little more hopeful. And he's like, yes, don't worry, he is fine. He has been keeping an eye on her and bringing her food and making sure she is resting. She always so he kind of like makes like a with like his hands, like they're supposed to be claws and stuff. He's like, she always so scary looking, horns and wings.
Yes, she has horns.
And wings and scary glowing eyes and speaking in tongues and all the other horrible monstrosity things you would see here.
Okay, so she has horns and she has glowing eyes from a cat. However,
no, not like a cat. This look more like lanterns.
What's this about wings?
Yes, whatever you all were fighting looked like they burned her wings off, and now they are like.
She didn't have any wings.
Well, she probably doesn't have wings anymore either. They look really, really burnt and skeletal. Like the flesh had been melted right off of them.
Okay, so take me to the tent wherever she is.
Okay. And you see him kind of like hold out a hand,
He holds out a hand.
palm open.
Sorry, I'm kind of tired. I take his
He's holding his hand expectantly at you.
oh, you want money?
He says, something for the trouble of making sure you are all taken care of. Yes, it's very gracious of you to offer.
The Vistani are nothing if not charitable.
I start to scratch my
all of
full
the
beard.
Vistani that in the room that you suddenly become aware of look at you and then laugh.
I reach into my computer and I pull out 3 were-raven feathers. There you go. Now, don't spin those all in one place. They're from were-ravens. And if that doesn't do
Tilius Bog
I
thinks
start
you
to
should
pull
just
out-
pay the man. Tilius Bog says while he's still hoeing down food and wine.
Wait, did you just say you pulled out a chest, Adam?
I say, well, if that's not enough, I start to pull out this fur-lined chest.
Oh no.
Put it away. Put it away.
Ah, very nice. He's like, no, I want it. What is it? Let me see.
Tilius Bog gets to his feet and points his sword at the gnome. Puts it away.
I would not take that unless you want to die.
But look,
The music stops at Ash's words, and the other Vistani leader is like, "Are you threatening us for our hospitality now?"
No,
Tilius Bog is not threatening you.
I'm saying that he is literally about to give you some death moss, but he's crazy, so I'm going to let him off with it.
I sigh and give him 2 gold pieces. Fine.
Better.
He brings one up and bites down on it, and he's like, "Ah, all right then." And so he kind of guides you out. He guides you around this way. And he goes up to the back of this cart. It's a large, red, painted-looking wagon. He knocks on the door and he says, "Oh, hey, lover boy. The small, hairy one is here.
Hello.
He wants to check on your friends."
I try to crawl in somewhere but can't fit.
And Eastmark kind of looks at her and he's like, "Don't worry. I'll get the door, and if you're not ready to see them, I can tell them to come back later." And Eastmark walks over to the door and he opens it just a crack so that he can poke his face through the door, and he looks down and he says,
As I see his face peek through, so I hear she has wings now. I simply must see them.
and
I cover myself with a blanket and say, "It's okay."
He grimaces and he's like, "Rylar, yeah, you certainly bounce back faster than most. That's good. I was really worried about you."
Yes.
And you see him look back and he's like, "Are you sure?" To Thledo.
No, but I have to sometime, I guess.
He looks back to Rylor and he gives him a very serious look. And he says, "She's not happy with this. Be considerate." And he opens the door for you. And so you walk in and you see that the interior of this Vistani wagon is very lavish. There's a number of gaudy looking decorations and stuff inside of it. And it's a very comfortable looking space for being basically just a giant wagon. But there's a bed in the back and a small stove and a place to sit, but Glenn is sitting on the bed wrapped with the blanket around her, and there's a large oversized hump where her wings are trying to be hidden. She hasn't had much time to practice and get used to them.
Hello, Glenn.
That's all right there.
So, what happened whenever Saga, fireball?
I got a hold of something that she wanted, and I was able to use it to bargain for your lives.
You always were so cunning. But I heard from I forget his name already. But I heard from the man that you were hurt. You have wings now and they were burned, or?
I'll shrug the blankets off, and reveal the wings. The bargain came with a couple attachments.
Those certainly are interesting.
And also noticeable, her eyes glow with the sickly yellow light. They don't have that. They don't have that cat yellow, but they're glowing like two little points of fire.
Are they still like cat's lit pupils with
Nope.
glowing?
They are full yellow and glowing.
I look at you. So I assume you've already attempted kill wounds and all that. Yes.
I just woke up a moment ago.
Oh. Do you want me to do it?
Do what?
Yes. I say as I go over to her and touch the wings and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Alright.
I flinch.
The cure wounds suddenly becomes inflict wounds and she dies.
Not again. Another one.
No, as the healing magic washes over her, you see that it doesn't have any real effect. There's no injuries on the wings that need to be healed, so the magic just kind of washes over it.
That's strange. I've never seen something of this sort.
I suppose this is what Watcher House wanted to give me.
Maybe. Judging from how I walked in, it seems like you don't really want people to see them, yes?
I just learned I had them.
So is that a yes?
No, they'll have to see me at some point.
I mean, other people. I say as I'm pulling out this wad of cloth from the computer, I kind of shake it out, and it's a kind of thick robe that might be able to cover her. Yeah, use this.
I'll try to put it on and see if I can cover it.
So add robe of useful items to your inventory.
Wow, really?
It was too big for me. I did the measurements wrong. You see, I didn't really have anything to properly measure, so I kind of had to go by eye and, well...
You only got the one good one anyways.
Yeah, this one's kind of faulty, I say, pointing at my right eye. That's why I have so many, warning shots. I lean in close. You know, sometimes they are actually accidents.
Sometimes, not always.
Usually they're on purpose, though.
I smile and give his shoulder a squeeze. Well, you did shoot a vampire through the floor. That was pretty
Multiple times.
impressive.
Multiple times.
That is true. Just didn't kill it.
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised I hit it through the floor. I mean, of course, I'm an amazing shot, but I didn't even see it.
It was pretty cool. And, you were smart enough to, convince it to leave.
Yes, well, it seemed like it wanted to leave, and, well, you and,
We were dying, yes.
yes, you two were, on the ground while Ismark was sort of attempting to do something. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but he obviously wasn't doing very well at it.
I look with an empathetic look back at Ismark.
It's okay. Sometimes we have a bit of trouble performing whenever it's our first time.
Wow.
Is Ismark healed up, or does he look injured?
So technically you've all had a long rest. So his injuries look more like they're just kind of, yeah, it's just something that's going to take a little bit of time. But he's not like hit points down, because you guys got beat up, and he was one of the like few people who walked away from it, but just barely. So there's some like burns and stuff on him, but he's bandaged up, and it looks like he's healing fine. But nothing that needs healing magic or any kind of extra treatment. He'll be fine.
Ryler, do you have any bones?
Bones.
Yeah,
I
like
start digging through my.
She ate
computer.
she wasn't taking to the food, but she ate the chicken bone and like completely.
Yeah, I start looking through my computer, and I pull out some were-raven feathers.
No, but I have these.
Do they look appetizing?
Nope. They look like feathers. Why would you eat feathers?
No thank you.
I have some mold. I don't think that'd be very good to eat, though.
I think that's probably still going to kill me.
I mean, we can have the Vistani get more bones from the chicken. I mean, no one else really, ate them.
That's true, I guess.
So, if you don't mind, could I see those wings again?
I say, taking out a bit of a sketch pad.
I'll hesitantly turn to let him see the wings.
I start sketching them down.
They're about that long. I wonder if they can actually tell me. That'd be strange. Doesn't have any. I think I can do something with this.
I say after a bit.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm just thinking, if those actually are able to lift you, which I'm not sure if they will, considering, lack of, hide or feathers or anything. But if they are, I might be able to use them, in a way to help in further inventions to aid with flying.
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried yet.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
I say, and I look out the cart at this guy that's just creepily standing there still.
Hey,
The-
could you get some bones from the chickens?
The guy who had walked you over here, he's creepily sitting there. No, he's actually like picking at his nails with a knife and leaned against the door.
Yeah, creepily sitting there.
Yes, could you, the leftover chicken bones and whatnot.
He kind of looks at you and he holds out his hand.
I might be inclined to let you see what's inside the chest if you do this for me.
Make a persuasion check.
19.
17, because you're at disadvantage, because your friends already told him what it was. And he says, "No thanks, I am quite content." Also, so you can
Fine.
so you can see his creepy smile.
I sigh and say,
Fine.
I hand him another 9 silver.
Wow, getting real cheap on us. And he takes the silver and he says, "Okay, you're the weird little hairy man who wants chicken buns." And so you see him wander off, and he walks back into the tent here with you guys, and he's like, "Hey, your weird little hairy friend wants chicken buns. Do you give him permission to have such a thing?"
So yes, Frog is not surprised, but he can have them if he wants.
It's up to him. He can have what he wants. If he paid for it, he can have it.
Okay, he paid with lots of your silver for these chicken bones, so he starts collecting up the trash, and he's like, "Hey, it's no business of mine what he does with chicken bones. But your friend, I like him. He's not good with his money." And he walks back out. Thanks for giving him silver for trash.
You're welcome.
Ba-doop-ba-doop. And there's a knock on the door, and he says, "Weird little hairy man, I have chicken buns."
Okay, Advat.
I say, going out and getting the chicken bones.
He's Mark is like, "What's an aardvark?"
Him.
Do I know what an aardvark is?
Make me a nature check. Yeah, you know it's a little creature that likes to eat ants.
I don't think he's an aardvark.
It's his name.
So he's just being himself. All right then. But yeah, so he hands you a plate of like 8 chicken bones.
There you go.
Do they look appetizing?
You see Ismark look a little concerned as the plate is held up, because this is like the stuff that he basically said he was going to pull from the trash, and they had been eaten by other people. But when you're looking at it, yeah, it looks so appetizing.
It looks like I try to resist for a minute, but then I start digging in.
Yeah. And so Ryler, you see her just eating the bones. Like she's biting, crunching, snapping, chewing, grinding them up into swallowable bits.
I mutter to myself,
Interesting. I've never seen something quite like this.
Was that enough to satisfy me?
It's enough to satisfy you for now.
I cast prestidigitation because I have that now on my breath, so I don't stink.
Don't stink of chicken bones.
I figured I should probably take that with my new diet.
Yeah, you should probably take that with your new diet. Cut back to the main tent, where everybody is. Esmeralda's gathered over by the rest of you, and she kind of looks at you all, and she's like, "So, I heard you all got way in over your heads. It is very fortunate that the fates had ordained that I follow you anyways. I arrived a tad late, but there was something that I needed to warn you about."
Why did you follow us? You were very insistent you were staying at your tower.
Ah, yes. That is where I was getting. You know that Vistani are fortune tellers. They can see your destiny with cards, yes?
Don't remember.
Tell you a story is not familiar.
Oh, right. None of the people who got the card reading are in this room. Hooray for dummies getting killed. Stares at Silver and at Morph. She says, I had looked at your cards, and I had seen that some things are different from what you had told me before. Because you guys had told her about the cards. That was something that happened at the winery. You guys had gone over.
Rylo showed them.
Mm-hmm. You'd asked her if she knew, and she was like, I looked over them, and the cards I drew for you were not the cards that you had mentioned, and it was strange, so I wanted to get back in touch with you all and find out why it didn't make sense.
Well, do tell. What's different about the cards you drew compared to the ones Rylo showed you?
And so she takes out her own Taroka deck and gestures for one of the Vistani to bring her a chair and a table, and she lays out the cards in the pattern again, and she says, well, a few of them have changed. More specifically, one of them, when I drew it burned up. She says, gotta check which one it was, because Rylar has them written down.
Yes, I do.
I do too.
The donjon had caught fire, and its contents was lost. Also, the guild member and the mercenary you had mentioned and asked about them. When I drew the cards, I did not draw the same ones. I drew different ones. And so, I lost my thing already. There we go. She sets down the cards again, and the one for the Amber Temple comes up again, and she says, This is where Madame Eva had told you to find the Sun Sword. And here she pulls out another one, and it's the wizard card, and she says, you need to look to a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to what you seek. And she smiles a bit and she says, I know where this one is. I could help you with this one. And then she pulls over another one and she says, and this one, I think you would be happy about this one. And she sets down another, and this one is the Elementalist. And she says, the one you seek is a treasure hidden in a small castle beneath a mountain. Oh wait, nope, that's the wrong one. Where did it go? Here we go. Not the Elementalist, the Abjurer. And she says, I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak. I'm not sure about that one, but there are not many places that speak or even know of dragons, so you might be able to narrow that down.
Considering we just traveled relatively close to a mountain range,
Yeah.
would we know kind of where the highest peak of like the land that's sectioned off by mist is?
Nope. He did not do any
Rats.
geography.
Fair point.
So what all cards do we have now?
So I need to give you the last one, which is your companion, Strahd's enemy is a different card now. Somebody's rolling dice.
It's for the robe of useful items.
Oh. That is amusing. Because now you explode!
Ha!
12 items of pure dynamite. Lit dynamite, no less.
Huh. And so... no, that one's too on the nose. I drew the one for Ismark, and I was like, this is too on the nose. He's going with you anyways. You don't need him. You can get a different person. Why is she even an option?
Esmeralda is an option, I'd have to guess.
No, there's one for Irina. It's like, why is she even an option?
Yeah, that's fucking
Get
stupid.
her levels? I don't know.
No, that's not how this works.
Oh.
But it's like, why would you take her to Strahd? It's like, if you lose, it's game over.
Game over, man.
Where's the...
Game over, dude. Game over.
Okay, everybody dial it in.
Reggie.
So Esmeralda draws like 3 cards after another, looking at them, not showing us, puts them back in the deck, and finally pulls this one.
Yeah, and she's like, no, this one's crap. No, too on the nose. He's already here. And you hear her just kind of muttering, and she's like, no, the fates don't want this one. And then she flips another, and she says, your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong.
You certainly have an interesting way of telling fortunes.
Well, this is what the fates ordain. And so,
We do assume that that wizard is different from the wizard's card you drew.
What?
We got the wizard card earlier. Is that a different wizard?
No, you got the Abjurer earlier.
Ah, right.
Oh no, the other wizard in the... You said there was a wizard tower out there.
Yeah, we got a wizard card.
There was a card that told you to look to a wizard's tower. There isn't one that is a wizard card.
Okay.
So, this one, Strahd's enemy. Replace it. Whoops. Well, ignore that.
I should have all the information.
Yeah, just ignore that.
Copied a little too much.
Oh, also, ha. Actually, this is the one I told you Esmeralda already knew about. So yeah, it's Van Richten's tower. You already knew
Yeah,
that.
that was
You already
obvious enough.
Telius Thog already knew where that was. So and so does Esmeralda. So yeah, actually, there you go, Max. That was what you were referring to. And then
Thank you kindly.
this was so. This is where she says this is where because Madame Ava had told you to seek out the Tome of Strahd, the icon of Ravenkind, and the Sun Sword. So this is where the Tome of Strahd is in the Wizard's Tower. This is where the icon of Ravenkind is going to be. The Sun Sword. The Sun Sword is still in the Amber Temple, and then
Which card stayed?
The Amber Temple one.
The one I just told you was the Amber Temple.
Oh. Was that the Faceless God card?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
that was the one you were already told would be at the Amber Temple. That place you guys didn't want to go to. Where's my wizard card?
The path we were going to go to after we dealt with the hag.
Mm-hmm.
But she dealt with us.
She did deal with you. Where'd my wizard go? Wizard.
I mean, on the bright side,
It's
Path
right
had
side.
previously been holding
Glenn
the...
got a pretty nice robe.
Okay, hold on. Where is this card?
Yeah, Path had been holding the now burnt up guild member, the dark cards.
Yes. trying to find where he went. Where are you, card? But yeah, I actually drew Eastmark and Arena, and it was like, no. Let's not do that.
It's like, you got them, and you're not stupid enough to bring Arena to the fight, hopefully.
I hope you're not stupid enough to bring Arena to the fight.
Let's bring Arena to the fight.
We're gonna train her as a vampire hunter, so it'll be all G.
Yeah.
You know what we're going to do? We're not going to be stupid enough to bring her to the fight. We're going to somehow stupidly bring the fight to her.
I mean, that could
I
also
wouldn't
happen.
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
That's the last one that you guys can replace. That's Strahd's enemy. And so she's like, all right, well, that is done, and that's going to be 100 gold. And she holds out a hand.
Quintilius Thog, pay with a dance.
And she says, no, but I was kidding, so it's fine.
Oh my god, just take her to Flynn.
They could.
That's what
because I've
Quintilius
only got
Thog
18.
meant.
I just got a robe that literally gives me a pouch of 100 gold.
As well as 20 gems worth 100 gold piece each.
Might be the same
That
thing.
too.
Damn, nice.
Anywho, so you guys are awake, and you basically know you're in a Vistani camp, but you don't really know where this camp is.
Am I to assume it's the one that Garrick Hammerhand knows about?
It was possibly that one, but you are Telius Thog, so you can't assume anything about what Garrick Hammerhand knows.
Yes.
Why would you do something like that?
Quintilius Thog is thankful, friend.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You all kill Strahd, everybody goes home happy, or you die, and we just continue the cycle.
Ryler,
Yes.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm asking this, but do you know if there's a graveyard around?
I have no clue.
No idea.
Though I had imagined that the body's being buried for a while, that would be all nasty.
I mean, nasty or just right?
I feel like if I don't keep eating regularly, I'm just going to die.
Well, we can't have that. I mean,
At the door and ask the guy there, "Excuse me,